And the great thing about me being here is that I brought along friends. Boom. That's one of them right there.
How you doing?
That's UlRic. Then I got another friend. Boom. Right there.
How
That's
you guys
Dr.
doing?
Surgeon. This is the people's doctor.
I'm the people's doctor. How you guys doing? We are here.
What does that mean, the people's doctor?
Well, that means we have different type of doctors out there. And there was a time in history when you was a physician, you actually learned the stuff yourself. You actually went out there, you put your hands into it. So the things that you were regurgitating was things that you saw for yourself and actually worked. And it was your information. It wasn't something that was told to you and you just happened to just regurgitate it. So it wasn't the information like that. So, and a lot has been going on to the point that not all, but enough physicians, they just kind of like taking what they hear and just run with it, not verifying it themselves. And as a result of that, a lot of times their decision making is at the behest of some other entity not known to you. So the people's doctor, meaning it's your doctor, somebody that's looking out for your best interest and however it kind of plays out. So
All right, that's
that's
cool.
the people's doctor.
I love the way you explained that.
Not bad, not
Yeah,
bad.
pretty good, pretty good. I'm Big Elvis' Chef Rosenberg. My background is I used to be in the hospitality field from the age of 20 to 35. And then I continued the hospitality field and became a personal chef. And then I opened up my own pizzeria. That was the third installment of restaurateur that I tried. And I failed at that as well. So that's okay too. But I had to learn the hard way what a business is and what a job is. So that's when I came into the cannabis business. So I've been doing cannabis along with the personal chefing for the last 15 years. And prior to that, I spent most of my time running a bar, running a club. And we have UlRic here, who's an educator.
Yeah, how y'all doing? I'm not giving my biography like, oh, so the doc just did.
Yeah. Well, know this about UlRic. He deals with like high school kids and that age range, and he's really good at what he does, and he cares. And that's one of the things that drew me to you was your passion for the kids, and I always thought that was great.
I appreciate that.
And he's also a wordsmith as well too. We would call UlRic a person who studies words. So he's really big on the learning of the word. Where does the word go and fit into the conversation and properly saying the word. So his diction and his enunciation, his cadence is going to be that of a person who speaks the King's English.
Yeah, see, now you're going to have, in the future, when this show gets more popular, you're going to have somebody show all the times I get the word and definitions completely incorrect.
Nice. We look forward to that. We look forward to that.
Now they're gonna be watching your diction.
Right.
They're gonna be looking to correct you.
Yeah, UlRic is the
See what
guy
you
who
did,
read the
man.
dictionary and then would say he doesn't read the dictionary. He's that guy.
You think
Where-
I'm freaking odd.
Yeah, exactly. You see? Where most people, they want to brag about reading the dictionary, they only got past like C. UlRic read the whole dictionary. He's like, no,
that is
I
a
don't.
legend. That is a myth.
UlRic is like, I didn't do that. That's for
I heard
only.
UlRic read the whole dictionary.
Yeah. UlRic is like, that's for weirdos. I wouldn't do something like that. All right. Speaking of weirdos, our topic today, what we're starting with, it's a little bit on the weirdo side.
Okay.
Now, let's play this video that I saw on, of course, you know where. Come on, World Star. Where else are you gonna get the good stuff? Well, the Grand Report has good stuff too.
You want to just audio? Or you want to see? Should we show her?
Yeah, I'll show her face.
It's kind of
Let's show her
scantily
face.
clad young lady.
Scantily clad is a great.
whole time I was seeing him, I was kind of just using it as a psychology experiment, and I didn't really like the guy. I more just wanted to see if I could break his heart, and it was fun.
So did you break his heart then?
Just a wee bit. I hope I did a little damage.
Wow. Okay. Why do you hope that you did a little damage?
Just, I like humbling men.
You like humbling men?
Yeah. It's like my pastime.
Your pastime is humbling men.
Mm-hmm.
You do work at the Spearmint Rhino, so at a strip club, so do you humble men there?
No, I take their money.
You want to do it again?
Full time.
No, no, no. I got it. Actually, you know what's funny? I really didn't believe her. I thought everything she was saying was completely contrived, completely fake, until she said that she works at a strip club. And I was like, oh, so maybe she really is running the game on people.
Yeah, but what I liked about the ending of this was that she also. Let's just take one moment and just talk about this haircut I got today. I mean, damn. Like, let's just take a moment and look at this haircut.
Not too shabby looking.
Wow. Anyway, you can look at on the channel. I actually have an hour video of me getting this haircut. It's a ASMR video where you just basically get to see a guy sitting down, and the camera just goes, and you get to see the whole thing from start to finish. Anyway, I digress on that. But what I did like is that the guy at the end of the video, I'm just gonna start from the ending of it.
Okay.
He says, you work at the strip club, right? And do you do that to the men there, which is manipulate men and break their hearts? You see, her thing is breaking men's hearts, having them, men that she's not even into, she wants to break their hearts. And he said, in the strip club that you work, is that what you do there? And she says, no, I just take the money from the men there. And that to me showed validity in what she's saying. Mm-hmm. It gave truth to what she was saying, because before that, it could just be a girl on a podcast just acting like I'm talking all that junk. But instead, we got a young woman in her 20s working at a strip club, getting money from men at the strip club, and then on her private time, she is going out of her way to try to psychologically damage men. What say you, Doc?
I think more power to her.
You're okay with this debauchery?
No, I think it's absolutely horrible. But I can't put it on her to not break, lustful idiots' hearts. Like, the thing about it, your job is to be able to discern this type of woman. You're supposed to see
as the man.
That's what your job is.
Yeah.
So we can't act like we want these guys to be babied. If you get fooled by a 20-year-old and get your heart broken and all this other stuff and stripper, if you're going to at any point in your life try to take a stripper serious to the point that your heart is broken now, you're an idiot.
Oh.
You're a real idiot. I mean, and it's we could sympathize with the whole idea and how horrible she is, or horrible of a person, why she walk around and do this, because she can. Because these guys are just that silly out there to allow this to be the case. If and we understand how big that market is, the stripper market and stuff like that, but iPhone have never really been interested. Like, the very fact that, a stripper, say for example, is going to dance for me or come on because I'm giving her money, that is the part that turns me on. Like, what does it for me is the fact that this person would actually want to do it by their own volition, and they get something out of trying to do it to me and all that type of stuff. But if the thing that kind of draws you to that is me actually giving you some money, it takes all of it away. So
there's nothing but truth in what you're saying.
Yeah.
Because all the years I've known you, the times we go to strip clubs, I have to be like, Doc, we're going to spend $100. you understand that, right? Mm-hmm. And he would be like, I don't know, man. And I would have to say, no. This is when the girl comes by, you throw it with $3, $4, $5, $6. This is how I have to teach, and this is like it happened a few times.
Strippers in our stream. Like,
No.
You cheap chef. You a chef.
No, I tip every girl. Every girl that comes by, I put $5, $10 on their little straps here, like that. I don't go towards their asses. I'm not into that. That doesn't. I like a woman clothed and walking towards me in a sexy way. But once she starts taking off her clothes, You don't really do anything for me. I like a woman
The
is
mystery?
sexy out there, the mystery of it. But when I go to strip clubs, all the girls that come by, they'll ask for, you want a lap dance, baby? And I'm like, nah, boo boo, I'm good. And I slip a 5 and 5 singles right there. And they're like, he's a gentleman. And the strippers nowadays, I don't know, they might have always been like this, but if you go to a strip club today, they stop and they will, before you leave the spot, they will find you and say, I want to thank you. They give you eye contact. And they say, I want to thank you so much for your tip tonight, and please come again. They're like the sweetest, nicest thing. It's amazing to see. When's the last time you've been to a strip club?
I actually, pretty recently. Actually.
That's right. Recently. Yeah. I remember that.
I called Elvis.
Yeah, he called me. He was like, can you Venmo me $300?
Hey, whoa! That's not what happened.
No, that's not what happened. It was like $100.
She got me for $300.
Anyways, now, so actually, I was at this strip club. I think around 30-something Street, and I don't even understand how I got there. I think I was like with some girl. I was walking down, and we just got in there. I don't know what. I honestly, it's like a teleporter from outside to the strip club. So then, but the only thing that really stood out in the strip club is they're like extremely cheap now. I got like a lap dance, like 3 songs. I paid like $20
For 3 songs?
I swear to God. I'm not joking.
He's just about to say,
No wonder you only needed
I was
100.
shocked. I was absolutely shocked. Like at the like that display. It wasn't like a Tuesday strip. It was like a Friday stripper. It was like that was a Wednesday night though.
Right.
But it was a Friday. It was a pretty beautiful strip. It was a pretty blonde, very svelte, and anyway.
Was she a white woman?
She was a white woman.
Was the whole place white?
No, not really. But she was like a. How do I say it? She talked a little like she had a little toughness to her talk. I don't know how to say it.
Like she from New York. Like that?
A little bit. No, but a little. Yeah, no, not manly. Manly's not the right word.
Okay.
But it's a little like a ruffian. Like I wouldn't be able to intimidate her.
Right.
Yeah,
right,
like
right.
that kind of. However, she talked.
New York stripper not having it.
Like you can go like this way. She's like, whatever.
Right. Getting slapped is life.
Okay. It's like, okay. I was slapped by guys twice your size.
Man, and did they do the eye contact and thank you when you left for tipping them and all that? Did they go through what I was?
Oh, I didn't tell you something actually. I had a second experience. I didn't tell you. I had a second experience.
Please.
I had a second experience at another strip club, and I was propositioned with whatever offer you were saying, and I actually got this person's number, and this person was texting me, and first they asked me how much do you think I'm worth, or something like that. They text something like that, and I'm like $100, and then she got mad at me, and she just stopped talking.
She blocked you.
This is why. Those are my last. Those were my last 2 experiences and I hadn't before that. I hadn't gone like for years, and like maybe like I don't know, like 4 or 5 years or something. Because I'm not really a big. I feel like the same way doctors. I'm not like a big.
Yeah,
it's a waste of
I'm
time.
not into the strip club. I just know strip club etiquette. You know what I mean? It's $20 a song, and all the girls that walk by, I give them $5-10. And when I get to $200, I'm walking out the door. I'm out of here.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't drink anything that's coming from behind that bar unless it's a bottle of water. Because of the eye drops. Well, the eye drops. I don't trust the girls with the eye drops.
Wait. Describe what that is.
Well, in the bar world, they take Visine drops and they put the Visine drops into your drink, and you will have like a diarrhea effect and a drowsiness effect. You will feel like you were on drugs. that someone slipped you.
Oh, so
like a
but
Mickey.
it's supposed to like it's pleasure. It's supposed to be a pleasurable effect.
No,
a
no,
laxative.
it's like a laxative. Yeah, it's like a laxative. So you're gonna shit on yourself. You ain't gonna make it. to
So
your
what
car.
do they want? So why do
They don't like you.
that's
They don't
why.
like you. They're being vindictive to their bosses. They want to see how many men they can get to shit on themselves tonight.
Oh,
It's a sick world we live
Oh,
in.
that's
But
true.
you know, these strip clubs have a lot of cameras, so there's not an abundance of this going on. But me being in that hospitality field and knowing what goes on, and I've dated strippers in my past, you know, so we never called them strippers. It was rude to call them a stripper. They were dancers. They were dancers or a woman of the night. Well, that's more prostitution.
Yes.
Well, the young lady who wanted you to tell her how much was she worth.
Now she was hot. The other one was the blonde one was okay. This other one was some kind of the composition, some like a bunch of different her race. She was like ambiguously raced. You know what I mean? And shit.
Nick Cannon would have loved her.
Yeah, something. But,
Right.
Uh,
Not my
She
kind of girl. I'm
she
into
was
black
great,
girls.
yeah.
You know, I go to a strip club. I'm into black girls.
I don't catch a
You
strip.
got-
I don't
yeah.
care.
Yeah, but like I say, I tip everybody. But anyway,
Yeah.
and I remember the last time we went to it was like a bar, and I was like, Doc, we're gonna spend $100. Come on. I remember one
And the
time,
only reason why we ended up there, that was because it was a friend's spot.
friends of his.
A
spot,
friend,
yeah.
there was and they were having this little thing. That's what happened. They happened to have had that there. Well,
It was
knew
like
this
it was like
would
a
do.
bar that had a strip night.
Exactly.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
what
they
it
just
was.
do
Yeah.
like a strip night party. I used to do that in my bar all the time too.
What?
It was like every Wednesday, and then it went windowed down to like once every like a certain one, like the last Wednesday of the month, where we do these stripper events at the bar. You know, they would, and then you know what's crazy? I had a girlfriend at the time, and she would. In the morning, so we would have it on Wednesday night. I would get home Thursday morning, and that afternoon she's mad at me for coming home and having sex with her because she knows I was thinking about the girls in the strip. And-
Oh. Harvey
Hey,
came
she
home
made-
and had no
hey,
sex at all.
Yeah. What if I came home and we didn't do anything?
Yeah, the first thing you heard was the shower go on.
Yeah, I should have run home and just turned on the shower right away. And then, come out, why you gotta be smell so good, why you gotta run into the shower? So, I've dealt with that, but that's as a young man. Thank God I don't deal with that crap.
Wait, Doc, I forgot what you said about whatever the strip place that you were going to. You talking about this?
I don't know.
So-
I'm talking about the stripper place I was at.
Okay.
All right, so now we discussed the fact that you just say the guys who would fall for, like, in other words, if this young woman gets off on this evil, it's an evil to try to have someone fall in love with you, just so you can knowingly break their heart. To me, that's evil.
No, but you have
What-
to think about how bad we've gotten, right? Imagine if a guy is saying something like that.
Admitting to something like that.
Right.
Because men are doing this all day. But are they
Coming out
admitting
and
to it?
saying
Are they
that.
coming out and on a podcast
Yeah,
saying
say-
that they're looking to manipulate a woman, have them fall in love so they can do damage mentally to them?
I mean, I don't even think I can even say that.
Can a guy even say that?
I mean, to be honest,
Yeah, she would say it. It's like, I don't know. But
But let me say this. I believe one up this woman in my time because I've sent at least 2 women to the mental house. Have you sent any women to the mental house?
no,
that you know?
not purposely.
Oh, well, I didn't find out until years later. I've actually met women and they were like, I kind of went crazy after we broke up and I had to go to the mental house. I was like, what?
What happened?
I don't even know. But I know it's happened to 2 different women that told me that they've actually had to go sit down for 30 days because of the breakup. But a lot of that is because back in my 20s, I never would commit. I would always be like, we're just friends. You know that. We're just friends. I was always that guy. We're just friends. Chill. We're just friends.
Right.
So But I never bragged about it. I never felt like this was my destiny in life to push women to this point.
I mean, when I heard, so I think I misinterpreted some of the video. When I heard that when you reiterated the end of the video that said, when the guy said, oh, he differentiated, you don't do this to your clients, you're just taking their money, you're not being vindictive. You're only doing, but you are doing it to the guys that you're dating and you're seeking romantic relationships with them. So I don't believe her. I don't believe she has the power to do that. There's no way. First of all, how is this? How you can? She's all right. I don't want to. I'm trying to censor myself because I don't want to talk it. But she's a dancer. I don't know that she necessarily has. God. The kind of I don't want to say I don't
think she's smart enough.
I don't mean any disrespect to dancers or strippers, but I don't think she has the kind of social currency to had anybody fall in love with her so strongly that she could break their hearts. I don't think I don't know whose heart she's breaking, what population, unless it's people that she's maybe taking, maybe older guys she's taking financial advantage of, but I think it's just guys she's dating. There's no way she has the power to do that.
I do have one question that needs to be answered.
Yeah.
If the woman that texts you how much you think I'm worth, and you said $100, right? And she says, okay, would you spend $100?
That sounds like a yes.
Because I never paid in the past, so I'd feel awkward doing it. But that night I would have.
Oh.
Now that you're asking me, I would have.
That night, definitely.
Now that you're asking me, I'm clear, and I'm kind of. It's funny, I'm not necessarily clear-headed, but I'm clear-headed. But so I'm in the very least not aroused. So I definitely would not spend the $100 if you had it from me. But that night
you would have spent
that night the way I was feeling, yeah.
She could have got that 100.
Yeah, because I was like, maybe she just wants to get with me, and maybe she'll just say, maybe she'll haggle a little bit later, but yeah.
Oh, there was a part of you that thought that out of principle she wanted money, but she still liked you, the individual.
Oh no, that was just my hope, because I was really just
Yeah, that's what I mean. That was the dream.
That was horny at the time. Yeah, that was my great.
That's what they're selling. But that's what they're trying to sell. They catch you at that right moment and make you think that, and then then the money becomes like a secondary thing that's just passing between hands.
Right.
But you thinking that it's like actual real experience and stuff. But
and granted, she could have been scamming me. She could have been. All right, honey, let's just go to an ATM first.
Oh yeah, I mean, I would say probably.
So you still can't.
95 to 100%, that probably would have happened and stuff.
Yeah, seriously, these New York women, they not having it. They will take your money and be like, "You paying for my time, sir? Prostitution is illegal in New York. What are you talking about?" And they to keep it pushing. Have you ever had a situation where money was or
exchange? Never ever.
Never ever.
In Austin though, I got close like so many times.
Yeah, close to doing it.
Yeah, I got close. Austin's freaking the insane. It's freaking Sodom and Gomorrah, man. It's out of control, man. It's absolutely insane. And I'm talking about, I would party constantly in New York. Austin was like crazier than college, man. That whole whatever that experience was.
It makes me think pause
bananas,
when
man.
I hear UlRic say,
What?
you feel that way about Austin, but I hang out in the city all the time and stuff like that. So how bad is it?
No, I mean that's not bad. It's crazy. It's bananas. That could have also been my.
I haven't even heard of this before.
It could have also been my.
Well, he's called me while he was in Austin, going, "Dude,
Oh yeah.
they like black men out here."
Yo, I definitely remember that.
He's like, "Yo, they like black men out here. They're and they're very pushy."
Yeah, holy God, holy crap. Maybe I have some leftover hubris here because now I'm just all sad. Like I can't get anything. I can't get. I just spoiled. I think I was spoiled with Austin.
Austin had it spoiled. Yeah, he was like, "Dude, whoa."
Yeah, now they're just not even.
And that question could be asked of you. Have you ever dished out a little cheese for some squeeze?
No.
All right.
Mm.
Wait,
Okay. So we got 2 out of 3 have not done that. Yeah.
we don't judge you, man.
No. I've actually talked about it on my channel years ago. I talked about it, and I thought it was, I remember the times here in New York City when they had that Roosevelt Avenue, and Roosevelt Avenue, there was these guys that they would come around. I would always, I've always been driving, and you drive down Roosevelt Avenue in Queens, and a guy would come over to your car with a little card, like a business card, but not a business card, very small, like a thumbnail, like the size of, let's say, a thumb, half of your thumb. And on that card, it would say, it would have cross streets. And those cross streets would be where you would then go to the cross streets. And when you drive to those cross streets, there'll be somebody in that area, and they would be like, "What's up?" And you'd be like, they would say, "Chica, chica, 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 chica." And I would go, "Yeah, what's up?" And I would show them my card. Like, let me see. And I would show them my card. Because that card would help somebody get paid if I was to go inside. So they take that card from you and they give you another card. And now that card will have an address. It will have a house number, and you knew what block. They'll tell you that block, and you have the house number. So you would find a parking spot, always was a parking spot, and you would go into the house. And when you got to the house, they would take your card. So that means the person who gave me that card, he gets paid for that visit. He gets paid for me going in. So they would have, when you get inside, it'll be a guy that's inside, and there will be all different sections for those cards. So it would say Manuel, and it'll have all his cards. Jose, it will have all his cards. All the guys that are out there pitching. So then you have to be very quiet. We're talking about whisper. Everything was at a whisper. Hi, so glad you. And everyone was super nice. They would be like, "Yo, thank you for coming. You want to?" They take your card. They're like, "You don't understand the rules? Have you been here before? Have you done this before?" And we were like, "Yeah." Or they'll explain to you what happens. They go, "We're gonna go to the next room. The girls are there. You pick a girl. If she agrees, you go to the room, and you have 15 minutes. And you have to listen to the girls. No rough stuff, okay? You rough guy or you good guy? No, I'm cool. So when you walk into the living room or whatever the room was that they were standing in, could have been like it wasn't like a kitchen or anything, but let's say the living room for argument's sake. And in this living room, you would have minimum of 15 women, all sitting down on chairs. No one sitting on a couch. They were all sitting on chairs with high heels on, garter belts, hosieries, and nighties, teddies, hair done, makeup done. And you would have a rainbow of ethnicities. You would have everything from the dark-skinned chick all the way to the girl that looked like Vanna White. There were women there that were nothing less than a 6. I've never seen a 5 in there, ever. Nothing less than a 6, and even 10s.
Really?
So it wasn't rare to walk into a room like that and be able to snatch up a 10. We're talking about 5'6", 128 pounds, veneers, perfect teeth, shiny, beautiful, poise, back straight, nails done, smelled amazing, and you will be able to have 15 minutes with this woman. And I did that from 21, 22, 23, 24. I was in a relationship at 24. So I didn't do it again to 27 maybe. But by 27, they had cracked down and all that stuff. That world was gone. But it was a nice time in my life where I remember I would get off of work where I was doing stock work. I was stocking a grocery store. It was a health food store. I was stocking the health food store and maintenance and cleaning up. And I was getting paid $5.50 an hour. And I remember I would run home, take a shower, brush my hair, put on my cologne, put on my shirt, and I was stepping out like I was on a date. I took it very serious. I walked up in there smelling good, looking good, and I was hoping that, and I would look for that woman, because, at the time, I was 225 pounds, 6'2", no fat, hanging, swinging, I'm feeling good, and this got me through my 20s, man, and it was a beautiful time. And let me tell you, there were there was this one woman I started to date afterwards. She gave me her number, and I would see her regularly. She was like, regularly I would see her. She would not even charge me half the time. She was like, we're friends. Like, if you give me something, no big deal. But she liked me, and she was a teacher, a New York City teacher. These were professional women that were doing this because it was a way for them to make massive money. And the place was only taking $10 from the women. They were taking $10, and the guys that were doing they were getting $1 each. So the guy who gave me the first card, he gets $1. The guy who gave me the second card, he gets $1. And these guys, talking to them throughout the years, they were making $300 a night. That's how many men in this city came to that area. It's like a hub. They used to have huge, when I stopped going because I was in a relationship, they used to have big buses. They used to have words on it saying, if you are in this business, there's hope for you to get out of it. Like, there was a huge campaign to stop this in that neighborhood. And so yes, so the answer is yes. And I have no shame in my game whatsoever, because I was still 6'2", 220, buff, cop diesel, looked good, smelled good, had a job. I mean, I was making $5.50 an hour, but I went home every week with $350, $335, $355, something like that every week. That was a nice amount of money for me.
You know what? Actually, what y'all should get out of this is the fact that, your younger years should not be spent, being chasing a relationship. So if you have those 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, I'd say even all the way up to your 30s, early 30s and stuff like that, that's your time that you really should be grinding. So really working and putting your work in there about what you're trying to make with yourself and so on and so forth. Now, whether or not you'll use a situation like that, but that is a way to maybe let steam off. And then have some experience and get those experiences and things like that and so on and so forth without being tied down and be able to make like a mistake.
Right.
So.
And trust me, I got the numbers of almost all the girls that I saw. It was a real big ego boost for me. To be able to meet a chick and get her number. I used to go to this one chick's house where her kids and her parents were in the house. And she would be like, shh, don't talk. And I would go into the beautiful room with the headboard, footboard, and all this kind of stuff. And at first I was thinking she must not want to pay the place, the 10. She don't want to lose the $10 off of the guy, but it was deeper than that. It was like we was having a good damn time. She was sad to see me go. Despite all that was going on, at least in my mind. Let's be realistic, but I had a good time. It was a good time. I don't look like the way you guys embraced the
I knew that was gonna be something. I was thinking that in my head.
But let me tell you, I know what it's like to be with a 10. Several. I know what it's like to be with women that look better than Rihanna. I know what it's like to be with the most beautiful women you will ever see in your life.
Yeah, but that being said, the hottest girl I ever had sex with turned me on as much as the ugliest girls I ever had sex with.
Wow. All right. Can't argue with that. Yeah, I know what you mean. But it was a good time. A good time was had by all. You know what I mean? It was a good time was had by all. I don't regret any of those experiences. And I never denied it. My wife, she told me years ago, I know you've never done anything like that. And I was like, what? Of course I have. She's like, really? I was like, yeah. Are you kidding me? What do you think got me through my 20s? Like you said. You know, imagine if I was a 20-year-old guy, all pent up. I'm a cock diesel. I was curling the 80s. Like it was water. I was warming up with the 225s. I was busting out 25 of the 225 to start the workout. I was squatting 580 pounds. The whole plates were bending when I was squatting. The whole bar was bending. There used to be 3-4 guys squatting. I was doing this at 19, 20 years old. 21. That's a lot of testosterone. You know, it needs to be legalized, and they need to tax these women and have a lot of these men have an ability to understand a woman, because these women are, you know, they were very professional. They were very, very. And can I tell you how it happens when you walk in? All right, being that this is not around anymore. So I have this great memory of this time now, and it's like you would walk into the room, and I think they would probably share rooms, but it wasn't like each of them had their own room, because they would fixate each bedroom. They would break into.
What about the customer goes in there, and then the other one they're sharing a room, but not at the same time. You mean? Like,
No. There's enough for there's 15 girls. They got at least 10 rooms for these 15. For these 15, 20 girls, there's 10, 15 rooms, and all the rooms are very small, enough to fit a full-size bed, a small walk area, and they would have a dresser drawer there. On top of the dresser drawer, there'd be water, and she would go through the ritual of pouring the water with the washcloth, cleaning you up first, and then they sprayed you with the alcohol. So they would spray you with the alcohol, no exaggeration. They hold it, looking at it, they inspect it, they spray you with the alcohol, and they would run the water, and they take the washcloth, they wipe you down. They would then put the condom in their mouth in front of you, and they'll go down on you with the condom to get it to go. They'll do that for maybe 5 minutes. And then they will tell you, what do you want me to lay down, or you want me to turn around? And there was times I used to be like, you ain't got to do, I'm going to hold you up. You know, I was like, we're going to do this whole different. Like, and you know, so if they didn't want to do something, you couldn't do it. Right. Because they would say, no, Bobby, no. And then at the end, of course, it was a fixed price too. I'm not going to say the price, but it was a fixed price. If you think you know the price, put it in the comment section. And what they would do is, they will always hit you for the tip, though. They be like, I don't make no money right here. Come on. So they always wanted the tip, and I always tip. Always tip.
Yeah, but the idea of getting everything you said sounded fine, except the idea of getting blown with a condom.
But that was the 90s. They put it in our heads that you had to do that. I was actually thankful for that.
Rubbing alcohol bath or whatever they sprayed you.
Yeah.
I didn't even buy that. It was just a condom.
At the time in the 90s, we're talking about 1994, 1995, 1996, 1997. They had billboards everywhere about condoms. I mean, everywhere you went, there were people trying to give you free condoms out of the train stations. Condoms were. Everyone promoted that condom like you have no. So when I was first with a woman, was with a condom. You know what I mean? Like I didn't understand that. Like I it wasn't like what you experienced.
No, the first time I used a condom.
The first time you lost your virginity, you used a condom. Yeah. What about you?
The very first time? No, I didn't.
No.
Say no condom. Now we could. Now we're
you don't have like safe sex when y'all
No, y'all two get the fist bump when y'all didn't pay. So you say now we have a camaraderie of the condom. But this is what we were told was the right way to do it. And then I didn't want any woman who's with that many men to be
no.
So I was very like, I wouldn't even do it if a woman didn't put a condom on. It would be crazy. I would be like, whoa, what's going on here?
But even the blown part, I'll do it, sure.
Yeah, but even then, at that time, you said you have to understand. In 1994, before I'm 20 years old, 25, 21 years old, we have been bombarded for
AIDS
so
time.
many years about AIDS and you're gonna die. This was like, it was so like that.
That's
So
understand.
I wouldn't even take a chance without a condom. Like, it didn't even it wouldn't even cross my mind. I was the guy who didn't have the condom in my wallet. I had it in my pocket. Like, seriously. So, that's what that was about. We're gonna take a 10-minute break, y'all.
We'll do that.
And we're gonna talk. Matter of fact, we should just keep going with the next video. Yeah. We don't have to just go to the next video. I was showing. Just go back to the video and I'll find it real quick. How's your week been?
How is the week? It's just moving along.
Is it moving along?
It's moving too fast.
Which part?
Time is just moving by fast. It's
Time is
like,
moving by fast.
it's like the whole.
But you know what?
End of the year came and left. Beginning of the year, all that stuff seemed to just blew through a fog, and we already like went to the second week of the year. Next thing you know, last year went by real quick. It's just as you get older, it's going to seem like time just flies by. I'm sure you guys out there probably feel something similar. When you were young, it used to seem like forever for these time and dates to come around and stuff like that. It seemed like you're waiting forever. Now it's like, by the time I seem like I'm waiting for it, I'm talking about it because it passed already.
Oh, really? I feel like the opposite. I feel like she's moving. I'm younger and I feel like she's moving like molasses.
Well, yeah, it's coming.
It's interesting that the way we see things. It's like you saying. I can explain why it's moving fast for you. That's because you have to pay people, dude.
Yeah, no.
You have a staff.
Yeah.
When you have to pay people, sir, it's coming. It don't never stop coming. Yo, when I was in the pizzeria business, I would have an ulcer on Monday because I knew I had to have at least X amount of thousands of dollars for Friday to pay all these idiots that want to come in here late with a story and when you gotta pay people, that's why. If you had to pay somebody who's waiting to get paid, the week will be rolling by. It will drive you crazy. Do you see any truth to what I'm saying?
No, it's true. Absolutely.
Oh, dang, I messed up. All right, what did I just do? Okay, cool. How about you, UlRic? Talk to us about what else is going on with you.
No, what else? Let me see. I don't know. Oh, I was actually telling Elvis earlier today that I was constantly waking up every day, like 3, 4 in the morning, and I'm then like up, and then I'm like up for like I'm either up for the rest of the day or I'm like having to wake up and give myself a pep talk and then go back to sleep.
Why do you think you up to? Why do you think you getting up so early?
No, we went. Well, hopefully we won't have to re-unpack that. It's a lot, but
that's what we were talking about. That's what we were talking about
That's what this
earlier.
was about? Okay, that's
wait. No.
What do you mean?
What you done? No. First of all, if you're insinuating that my relationship is causing that, you have lost your mind, sir.
No, it's not that.
Whoa, it's interesting that that's where he went.
I knew. Remember, I thought
that everything revolves around the
remember
breakup?
when I thought I thought that you thought that when you said, because he thought he understood it too, and that's and that's where I thought he was going, and that's where I guess
Wait,
I
you
guess
thought
I
that I understood what was the reason why you made
No. I thought no. You said no. I thought where you were going. Remember when you said the reason? When you were saying what the reason was, and I think I stopped you and said, no. It's not what you think. The same way I just did, except I was right that time.
All right, we're gonna digress now. All right, you ready for the next one? You're gonna love this one. Let's see.
Hello everybody, welcome to my Shagify rap. All of the juicy stats from my juicy sex life. Let's go. So, how many sexual partners did I have in the 2022 season? I had 55 in total. Of those 54 were new to me, which is an average of 1.05 partners a week, which I'm pretty proud of, I can't lie. So I'm now up to a total current partner number of 91. Only 12 of them I shagged more than once, and 38 of them were met through swingers clubs. The gender split, it's done into men and women because as far as I know, I didn't shag anybody non-binary. So in total, we had 33 men, 10 of which had big dicks, which I'm counting as 7 inches or bigger. 2 of those were DILFs. Women, 21 women, which I feel is pretty good, giving lots of bisexual energy. 2 of those were MILFs. Of those 21 women, 5 of them at least, I was there confirmed first time with another girl, with 2 more were either potentially their first time or very early on into their, shagging women journey. Injuries I received, a nipple piercing, a dual nipple piercing infection, a ripped nipple piercing, which actually I received as a result.
Okay.
Living like crazy.
We're going to play it one more time, but we're going to look at it this time.
Hello everybody, welcome to my Shagify rack. All of the juicy stats from my juicy sex life. Let's go. So, how many sexual partners did I have in the 2022 season? I had 55 in total.
She slept with 55 people in the 2022 season. She slept with 55 people.
Of those 54 were new to me, which is an average.
So she slept with 55 people in 2022, and 54 of them were new people.
1.05 partners a week, which I am pretty proud of, I can't lie. So I'm now up to a total current partner number of 91. Only 12 of them I shagged more than one.
91 in total people she slept with. And in 2022, she slept with 54 new people. So that means we have about 40 people that she already slept with that never slept with her again. So she's at 90, right? She says she has 90. Altogether, she has 90 something people, 91 people. 54 of them were new in that year. So that means only one person out of the 55 was from the year before. Okay.
And 38 of them were met through swingers clubs.
And 38 of the 54 was met in a swing club.
The gender split is done into men and women because as far as I know, I didn't shag anybody non-binary. So in total, we had 33 men, 10 of which had big dicks, which I'm counting as 7 inches or bigger. 2 of those were DILFs.
Anybody know what a DILF is?
Dad, I love the fuck.
Oh, 2 of them were my age.
Women, 21 women, which I feel is pretty good, giving lots of bisexual energy. 2 of those were MILFs. Of those 21 women, 5 of them at least, I was there confirmed first time with another girl, with 2 more were either potentially their first time or very early on into their, shagging women journey. Injuries I received, a nipple piercing, a dual nipple piercing infection.
Okay. We got a young lady here who is advertising on the internet about the 54 new people she slept with last year. 33 of them were men, 20 something were women, 2 old guys, 2 old women, and they all 10 of those 30 men were hung. I would argue that no one is trying to do it again. This is a place where you meet a chick, maybe on Tinder, maybe at a swing club, and you smash her. And you don't even think about her ever again, where she's actually got a whole notebook What say you, UlRic?
I don't know. I feel a little bad for the fact that something tells me that beforehand or years ago, whenever I guess before she started getting confident within herself, I think she didn't really have any sexual interaction, or she didn't feel beautiful, or she didn't feel sexy, or she didn't feel something, because whatever she's doing now is overcompensating. So, right, the fact that she... Why are you trying to open my phone?
Oh, yeah. I just, for some reason, thought I didn't need a code. My bad.
What are you trying...
Yeah, keep going.
Anyway, so, the heck was I? Where you distract your crazy self. The fact that she feels the need to take inventory of her sexual adventures.
Good word, inventory.
Yeah, I don't know what I don't know what she's doing. This can't yield anything positive, because she's putting out to the internet that she's promiscuous, and not only she's promiscuous, she has some psychotic compulsive habit of recording not only the size of their penises. That's a little disturbing when you look at it. She's taking inventory the size of their penises, the sexual experience when they're that's like a sociopath. So I'm not sure. I feel.
What defines a sociopath?
I think she's the fact that she takes something is intimate. I know sex can be fun. Sex can just be fun and not have to have necessarily emotions to it. But she takes it something intimate and she makes it almost clinical, or not. Maybe clinical is the wrong word.
I think that's a good word.
She just makes it like she take even sex that has nothing to do with it. It still has fun and you're enjoying yourself. Is a physical act that's pleasurable. She's not even stuck on how good it makes her feel. She's just stuck on that. She's just numbering them.
You know, it's interesting that you say that, because she only mentioned something positive when she talked about being with women. She said she was giving off good bisexual energy, or
no. She was just saying she didn't even say. She was just saying nonsense. What she said. She was just I just think when she said that, she just meant that she was just getting women. She's making women know that she likes women too. Or she's giving it's just
What say you, Doc?
I think these things kind of bother me a little bit. You know, it bothers me a little bit, and we don't know what is driving what. This need to clout chase and want to be seen and want to be heard, and you'll expend nothing, not your self-worth, not your self-respect, just so you get people to listen to you and what you got to say. And one of the things that people really hide, whether or not they have, what you consider promiscuous activities or not, people usually try to keep that behind closed doors. So now she wants to promote this as a way for folks to tune in, to listen to her and stuff like that. And my fear is that it's going to encourage more other people to really downplay themselves. Because, if you didn't know,
people to downplay themselves? What do you mean? People downplay themselves.
Downplay what your worth is really. So in other words, what I was about to get into with, I believe one of the greatest gifts with our women and what they can provide is the fact that you are the sole person that means enough to them that they decide to give themselves to. So when you're out there and you're finding some fun in laying up with everybody, then your whole worth is up in the air, and no guy, unless they have low self-esteem and can't garner something for themselves, care about the chick who's laying up with everybody.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
The only time that person was ever attractive to me is when I didn't think I could get anybody.
The only time that person wasn't attracted to me
was attractive. The only time that type of person was attractive to me was when I felt I couldn't get anybody. So then, that means so I might have a shot. So
Now, I will say this. If I seen her like at a bar at a club, I just might flock to her because she's easy.
Well, that's
So
the
it
whole
might
point.
not. So regardless,
That's the point,
but
yeah.
regardless of
Even looking like the way she looks,
Well, she
Oh well,
was-
no, she was a little tough, but you know, but if like
energy.
within reason, if just with anybody within her reason was around, like anybody like kind of not super more attracted to her, just proportionally more attracted to her, like this much more attractive, however you would gauge that. Not like, but if they were more attractive, I think I'd probably go with her if I didn't have to go through the flips, because she just seems like she just seems like she would just go at you in a bathroom, you know. I don't want to, you know. I don't want to. I don't
You don't
want
want
to
the
take.
headache.
I don't want to take.
well, I remember we talked last week about a booger bear, or maybe it was the week before. That to me, she's a booger bear. I could not go there. I couldn't do it. I wouldn't be able to do it. I would run from that woman. I would.
Yeah, but you know her inner.
I don't want
dialogue.
to. I don't want to be on a woman's list.
Yeah. You know her now. If I knew her, if I'm talking about just looking at her, I was just talking about pure looks.
Yeah,
Obviously, if
I
knew
don't.
that
I don't
crazy
want to. I don't want to be on a woman's list, and I don't want to be. I don't want to be written down and categorized.
You know what I'm
as-
actually impressed by? She didn't divide them by race. I'm shocked.
She didn't divide them by race.
Yeah, does that mean they were homogenous? Or does that just mean that they were
mentioned it.
Good job, Ulrich,
I
noticing
wasn't-
that. I didn't notice that. And you know what I thought when I heard this? I thought, oh, white guys.
Oh, really?
Because of her accent.
Oh,
yeah.
no, I thought swingers club meant, I thought the swingers club aspect, I thought there was a possibility that it was, like, she was more affluent, but have more white, you have to be accepted in some swingers club, and they have, like, these, crazy, like, monthly premiums. It's like literally Jordan, it's like a country club.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of
Yeah, you have to
one of my
pay
ex's
dues.
friends was in that shit, and had like $300 and shit like that for a month, and they,
Well, if there's a swingers club that's charging $300 a month, we're talking about the baddest chicks and men are there. Everybody there's no guts anywhere. That girl couldn't get in.
oh well, yeah, well, oh,
She couldn't
okay,
get
so
in.
yeah,
Not,
okay,
not
I
in
know
a
what
place
you're
for that
saying.
kind of, not that kind of money.
I know what
All
you're
right, I just think that this woman is not respecting the power of the internet, and I think what she's also doing is very irresponsible, and I think that she needs to really check herself, because what you say today can have serious consequences tomorrow. So I think her marginalizing sex the way she is, and I think her with this list is going to lead to maybe even like the type of person I would argue that would be the kind of person who would just like swallow a whole bunch of pills and just never wake up.
Yeah. You know what will give her some reprieve, or would make me judge her a little bit less? If she's just have some like compulsive thing where she literally just lists a bunch of different like stuff, then I wouldn't think she's as like, I mean, it's still it's pretty odd, but if she's just listing sexual things, that means she got some issue down like. But if that's like habitual for her, if she's just like a crazy lister, then I can't really like fault her for doing that crazy stuff. It is weird, however, that she decided to advertise the fact that she makes these lists.
Proudly.
So yeah, I forgot
Super proud.
Yeah, the privacy, the fact that she's putting it out, that's ultimately the problem.
This is a girl who no one would talk to in high school. No one would
I
sleep with
believe
her. No one wanted her, and now she found a way to get laid, and I think it's going to be at a detriment to her mental health, because there's nothing good going to come from this woman. You guys ready for the next one?
Yeah, man.
Let's do it.
ADT systems now feature Google products like the Nest Cam with Floodlight, with intelligent alerts when...
Okay, what I just did.
Yeah.
Sorry, y'all.
Wait, you
Technical
back, by the way.
difficulty. Let me see what they have to say.
You're gonna need a little project you got. You need a little
Just put that on pause.
project you gotta do for tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. No, I know stuff. Oh.
We got Raz 3RPXRP. Thank you for coming by. Charlton Wade, chef with the fresh cut. You see that, right? How great does this haircut look? Thank you, Carlton Wade. Christopher Perkins, respect, respect. T. Rittler, sounds like UlRic's type.
Yo, who is this guy? Yo, done with it.
I read that.
He did. Why did you say?
What up, Doc? Says T. Rittler.
Yeah.
Pay that back, FM $200. I don't know. Sounds like a massage parlor. Yeah, I've been to quite a few massage parlors, but I don't go for the happy endings. Sounds like a top-notch operation to me. Yeah, it was top-notch. Oh, this is my younger brother over here, Benji. How about if he didn't know any better? What advice you have for the unguided? That was at 11:30. I don't know what part was he talking about. I think that was the first story he was talking about. Sorry about that, Benjamin. We didn't go to the chat. Keep doing real
Come back in
intelligence.
the next chat. Maybe
Oh, this is when we first started. You say, how about if he doesn't know any better? What advice? Oh, what happens if the guy doesn't know any better? What advice would you give the guy who's about to get his heart broken by a woman who's trying to break his heart, who's evil and wants to manipulate him? What do you say to that guy?
No, you need to
You
go.
can't learn that. Even if you learn that, you can still be manipulated. Advice doesn't help a person who would let that happen to them. You can't even unguided. Unguided has nothing to do with him allowing this to happen. Himself to get manipulated.
You start.
They probably get advice all the time.
You start by not being a lustful idiot. You start by not chasing women, chasing sex. You start by putting what you need to do first. That's what you.
Yeah, but that's in their aptitude. That's in their self-esteem.
No, so that's number one.
That's
So
not gonna make them.
the funny thing is, it's like it starts with those very basic things. We think they're very, very basic, but they're not really that basic for most folks. They really don't really put their plan first or what they kind of need to do and really highlight that.
So you would say a man should have a plan.
Oh, you
And,
absolutely.
and if he has a true plan, a stripper ain't part of the plan.
Not at all. Especially, so that's the whole point.
Wait, I
The
guess
fact
I got
that
that from
the
that.
fact that she's a very
That's what I got. That's what I got out of what he said.
the fact that she was a stripper to begin with would already give you pause. That's not somebody you're going to take seriously.
Yeah, but he doesn't.
Her life experience as being a woman who works in a strip bar, and her thing is to get money from men for doing very little. That skews her view of what men are like in general. This is probably what egged her on to the point of like, oh, let me try to play with these guys and see what's going on, because I see how silly and crazy they act inside a club.
Yeah, but when you're lonely, it trumps being manipulated. It trumps being used. He will take being used and manipulated just to have somebody hold him. I'm telling you, he doesn't feel. He probably feels like I can relate to the kind of loneliness he's feeling. I just have enough pride and self-love to not allow myself. I know the depths he's feeling. I just have some he's just missing self-esteem. I think for people who get manipulated like that, you ever heard of the show called Love After Lockup? It's this show on the same. It's a show where the pattern seems to be so some people's coming back home from jail, and while they're in jail, they're talking with somebody who's back home.
Right.
The person back home usually has their stuff together. Usually has a house, a home, stuff a lot of situation kids. But they're like being pen pals with these people, maybe because their pathology, they're fixer-uppers or something like that, or they're just attracted to like I don't know, whatever they just like them through.
Yeah, I think I've heard of this show. Was the famous one where the guy, African American or ADOS guy, and the girl she wouldn't even have sex with him until he bought the boobs. And yeah, I saw that. That made its rounds all through the internet. So yeah, and he was like, his sister, his mother, everyone was like, "You're spending all this money on this girl. She's not even sleeping with you." And then the girl would admit off camera that she wasn't even into him. She was into her boyfriend that she was with prior to going to jail. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what. So that's what I was trying to say. That you can't teach. I don't think that something like, and the person was saying, how would you go for the unguided? The guiding is not gonna, because he's not gonna be able to spot, because he's a woman, like you're not gonna be able to point out a woman who does A, B, and C. She doesn't want you. She's gonna take your money. He's not. You're never gonna be able to see. He's never gonna be able to see that because he has such a profound like loneliness that he would take that manipulation. Intellectually, he knows that. Emotionally, he needs that person, and if it means abuse, he'll take it. He's like a abuse victim, or he can't. You can't teach him rules for that. He's like broken inside. You can't like.
I think one of the big differences between what you were saying earlier about how you knew he was at, but the only difference is that only real difference is the fact is one person is broken, the other person is not broken.
Oh, she's broken. Oh, she's broken.
No. I'm talking
she's
about
just bad at
I'm
money.
talking about as the guy. I'm talking about as the guy broken, being able to be taken advantage of in that certain way. Whether it's through self-esteem, those things I mentioned earlier, those are like prerequisites that kind of like set the stage to get to the point. So one of those things is, knowing what you're trying to do and focusing on the things that you focus on as far as what you're going to do to build yourself up, and that you're going to be able to sit on your stage and be okay. In addition to that, put in the idea of where you're going to place relationship into your life. At what point are you really ready for that and guarding all the stuff that you wanted to guard? After you do that, the people that come across you, those are the people that you get to vet. So when you're out there actually, if you're just moseying on through and relationships are coming at you versus you knowing what's coming at you and what you're looking for, then you quickly get rid of a lot of options. There are not really that many choices.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Viable
That makes a lot of
choices. So if
sense.
you're really looking at it, you're not going to really have that hard of a time. Because most folks, from a couple of sentences, you know whether or not they fall into the realm or not, and whether or not they mean you any good or not. And the truth of the matter is, I was saying before we talked about it, I don't blame the young lady. It is you that's supposed to vet them, Because at the end of the day, they'll offer you sex, but you actually offer the relationship. So if you're able to have a strong enough impact on them, they're going to like you enough and say they'll offer their body and offer sex, hoping that you're going to find enough value in them that you're going to offer marriage, relationship, and etc. So when your yardstick for that is just looks, or just the actual fact that you can have sex with them, you're in a bad place.
I hope that answered your question. And what's great about us being able to have this conversation, go through our comment section, and I'm thinking we maybe need to close that bathroom door
Yeah.
because that sound is so loud. The phone ringing like that, that's from another apartment, right?
No.
That's a
Yeah, I think that's an alarm or something. Oh, that's your side. Yeah.
You don't want to just turn it all the way off?
Yeah, I think it'd be good.
All right, sorry. All right, we have this thing that we call the value for value system. And this value for value system is an amazing system. And we want you to be able to express yourself through that value system. And that's by hitting the Cash App, hitting the Venmo. The Venmo is Elvis-Rosenberg, and the Cash App is $Elvis Rosenberg. So we want you to express yourself, and we will. We look forward to you guys doing that. So let's use the Venmo. Let's use the Cash App. Let's express ourselves that way. The doc had an important phone call to pick up.
That was a shooter cry. That's why that's the presentation you was talking about.
I don't know what that is. That was a lot. So let's play the next video. Let's move right into the next video.
Alright. So this lady
officially tired. The discourse around bodies is tired. I have seen comments go from, oh my gosh, I liked you when you were thick, why'd you lose weight? To, oh my gosh, why'd you get a BBL? I liked your body before. To, oh my gosh, you're so big. You need to lose weight, but for your health. To, oh my gosh, you're so little. You need to get ass or titties or something. To, oh my gosh, why did she get all that work done? It's just too much work. Are we okay? Do you see the delusion? Do we realize that artists are not here to fit into your beauty standards? Artists are here to make art. And this body is art. And I'm gonna do whatever I want with this body. I wish that comments costed y'all money so we can see how much time we are fucking wasting on the wrong thing. Can we leave that shit back there, please?
You ready for this one? Let's take a look at this. We showed it to you. Now we're gonna take a little look, see a little closer up. UlRic, you should see your face.
The discourse around bodies is officially tired. The discourse around bodies is tired. I have seen comments go from, oh my gosh, I liked you when you were thick, why'd you lose weight? To, oh my gosh, why'd you get a BBL? I liked your body before. To, oh my gosh, you're so big. You need to lose weight, but for your health. To, oh my gosh, you're so little. You need to get ass or titties or something. To, oh my gosh, why did she get all that work done? It's just too much work. Are we okay? Do you see the delusion? Do we realize that artists are not here to fit into your beauty standards? Artists are here to make art. And this body is art. And I'm gonna do whatever I want with this body. I wish that comments costed y'all money so we can see how much time we are fucking wasting on the wrong thing. Can we leave that shit back there, please?
Well,
Do you know who this person is?
no.
This
Oh,
is
shoot, for real?
Should I know who it is?
that's Lizzo.
Oh, that's who it is?
Yeah, have you ever heard Lizzo's music?
I've heard her, but I haven't heard her music.
Yeah, you probably have. It's probably like in the elevator.
Okay.
When you walk into the bank, they got something of hers playing.
Okay.
You know, it's it doesn't do anything for me. I never bought into it. I heard a couple of songs before I knew who she was, like you, and didn't even know who I was listening to. You know, how about you, UlRic?
Hearing the music, yeah, my ex was a gigantic Lizzo fan. She used to bump her in the car like album style. Now, look, I'll say this about her music: she has a very talented producer, and she has a nice singing voice.
She has a talented producer.
She has a very talented producer, and the singing voice is nice. I don't really care about what she's not singing about nothing. She's just talking like buzzwords to make girls be like, ow, and shit like that. That's what I hear when I...
Right. Looking for the catchphrases of the night.
Yeah, it's just...
Like, this is like the music the girl listens to before the party, kind of?
Yeah, that's
It's like a
exactly
pregame.
perfect.
She's like a pregame girl.
Yeah, that's a perfect way to put it. But, and it was interesting,
Can we just stop for 1 second
go
and
ahead.
just talk about how amazing this haircut that I got came out? Like, damn. Wow. All right, continue.
Fresh to death.
Continue.
Now, she's very, it's interesting that she said earlier, you see how much time, I wish comments cost money, so you see how much time she wastes. She only wants, I think, her fans wasting time or wasting money, because I don't know how much time that, she has a lot of stuff out. She has like a YouTube channel. She has this like fat reality show. All these bigger girls. They go and they're just, I don't know, they're just like supposed to be a big backup dancers, and it's ridiculous, man. But,
I know nothing of that world. Thank goodness.
Yeah.
I'm very, very happy I don't know about this.
it's a trip.
What do you think about what she had to say, Doc? She's talking about, she's tired of people telling her how great she looks, how bad she looks, advice being given to her about work being done, not being done. It seems very chaotic.
I mean, what can you say? Her body or physical imaging, persona have taken a life of its own. Everybody know about you because of that very thing. At least for me, it's not because of her music or anything like that. I know about her because it was the girl that's, on the big side, and it became a big body shaming thing, and she's the spokesperson for that. That's what's giving you a name. That's what's giving you a platform.
You came up with a good name for that. What was it?
Yo, I was trying to think of it when I was watching. I knew you were gonna bring that up. I forgot the she's a body shame hustler. I forgot.
Body image hustle.
Body image hustle, something like that. I
Body
never
image hustle.
remember any of my quotes.
Nobody cared about that. Folks that were out of shape, they were just out of shape.
Body positivity hustler. All right,
Body
so go ahead.
positivity hustler.
So
Right.
people that were out of shape, folks would recognize them out of shape, and I don't think more attention was placed on them more than that. So the same thing about the body shaming and stuff like that is what people like. So I don't think, I don't think people go out of their way to go to a person who is obese to say, "Oh, you look great." It's because you're the spokesperson. That's why you have people coming to you and saying that.
Right.
I don't think that's ever been the case in the past. So what do I really think about it? I think, you get in where you fit in. You have folks who are out of shape and they can't get into shape. That's their business. You have other folks who's out of shape and they get themselves into shape, and you have everything in between. So,
and I was in it's son of a gun. Go ahead.
So it's what do you make of that? What do you do with that? You let people live their life. I don't want to have, I don't want to talk about a lot of people who are fit. I sure don't want to spend my time talking about people who are unfit and making a conversation, like a national conversation about, so now I'm supposed to, beat into my kid's brain, like, well, this person, you should love their body. Just if they're big or small, you should love it. No, you try to be healthy, the best healthy you could be. And what that's going to look for you is going to be different from everybody else, but that's what you push. I'm not trying to be, and take this, with all the niceties that you can, but I'm not trying to, trying to blow sunshine on body positivity. I'm not trying to spend my energy trying to, make people think something unhealthy is good and it's okay.
Right.
So
you would argue that there's an unhealthiness with her?
No. There's an unhealthiness to when you carry extra mass more than you need for the purpose that you're carrying out on this realm. You're
Like she's not preparing for an ice age.
Exactly. So you'll be all right. I don't think. One thing we could say is this: like, we have enough body fat that if I didn't eat another drop of food for the next 2 weeks, 3 weeks, I'd be completely still fine. You'd be completely fine. You'd be completely fine.
I could go 30 days.
You probably could do 30 days. But
Just
the thing
more.
about it is, but if you could start doing a couple of months, you have to kind of like start looking at something you could do to be on the healthier side. There's nothing wrong with that. You shouldn't be carrying all this extra, all that extra fuel if you're not going to hibernate or something.
Jeez Louise, man. See,
Well, we know about bears because they actually gain,
her fatness is the least thing that annoys me about her. It's how she leverages her fatness, which she goes from that.
Speak on
She
that.
can be fat. The only she doesn't. I don't think she. First, the video was her speaking to the comment section. So she's going through the comment section, highlighting negative comments, and then addressing them. When it was probably a comment in between 10,000 things, like slay queen, oh beautiful, oh my god, baddest bitch of all times. The hand, probably
Slay girl.
It probably took her days just to get to that. Oh, you're fat, just to get something rude. It's we all heard insane fans, and she's teaching young girls and not only to focus and address the comments, not to let it. She's part of the non-sticks and she's part of the words and looks can break your bones, but you know.
But sticks and stones will break my bones, but words will never hurt me.
Yeah, but not for this, not for whatever the
Comments will cause pain.
Yeah, comments and dislikes will break your bones. That's or it would break your soul, break your mental health, which apparently is more tangible in her than her actual body. So her feeling good about her feeling good about her body is more important than her actually being healthy. Now, see, now Doc, you got me this way.
So let me ask this question. Sorry, Doc. She speaks on how she's an artist, and an artist doesn't have to live up to certain standards. What say you about that, Doc?
Well, it depends. You know, if you're an artist, then you're known for your art. And as a result, you're accepted with the art that you bring that people find so valuable. You know, now if it doesn't go in that order, then it's just not in that order. You know? So we have a lot of folks now, we have to understand real true artistry and the folks that actually gets to make it. You know why over the past, you know, in the 80s and 90s, we could pretty much know what a particular artist from a particular genre is going to look like physically without us ever seeing them before. So there's a big part that was played in pushing images to us, you know, versus who really have the talent, who has the talent and be able to put it together and put it out there that people could resonate to, you know. Sometimes I don't know if that really matches all the time, you know. So we have to.
Well, let me say something. Do you want to answer that question about art and how an artist, you know, doesn't have to live up to the standards? What say you about that? I can go last.
I'm not sure. Well, I think she's misunderstanding what she is or what she is to the public. I think there's probably a population, but I think there's a small population that sees her as an artist. I think how she's known and what she's popular for is just being this kind of this blown up image of she's body positivity icon in her head. She's in her head she's a body positivity icon. That's how she sees herself, and that's how the world is. She's a money making machine without a. I don't mean it. I'm not trying to make him into a son with his orbs, but she's like a son with. She has a lot of ways to. This is what's getting her. This is what's like they're building an orbit around her. Her body positivity icon. Artist. I don't know who she was kind of chosen. She was kind of picked. In other words, she was talented. I'm not trying. She has a nice singing voice. I'm sure she can play an instrument, but what she does is not artistry. She has a talent. Her talent is singing. I don't know what she. I listened to her music and listen. It was very derivative and trying very hard to be Prince-like, and it wasn't really hitting the mark. And from the style of singing to the style of music. Now the music was made well. Shout outs to her arranger and whoever's doing it. But the production was done well. Production was it sounded fine, but nothing about her is creative or interesting or nuanced or makes anybody. It couldn't make anybody think. She doesn't say anything even interesting as a body positivity icon. She's not newer or interesting as a person who's unashamed of them being fat. There's been people who've done this better. You know who's a body positivity icon? Biggie Smalls. Biggie Smalls was a big, stylish, and he had a poise and proudness, and he had self-confidence from what I've seen that kind of exuded out of him. Right. She's telling people how she's. No one believes. We know she's not. I'd be shocked if she didn't cry on a regular basis.
Right.
And she didn't look at herself and be constantly disgusted. And she probably wants to make a change in her way, but she's too much of a. She makes too much money is the body positivity icon. She's too, she, everything she generates comes from that. So to almost sympathize with her, I think she has to, because she's stuck where she is. She can't do that Adele, remember the Adele thing and lose weight, like stuff, and have any value to everybody. You know when you see an artist, you know how you see how much of an artist you are, Lizzo, lose weight. Then we'll see how much of an artist you are, how people are drawn to your art. And we'll see how interested people in your music.
So you're saying they've bought into her?
Yes, and not her music or her artistry.
Her artistry.
Yeah. I'm not sure if she knows that. I think when she's at night alone, she
brought into that push. They brought into that push.
I think that was well said. Great argument, UlRic. Good, yeah. Well said as well, Doc. What you have to say. When you were speaking, made me think of demand versus command. She's demanding the respect, opposed to commanding it.
Yeah.
Like Biggie commanded the room. She's demanding that the room look. She's demanding that the room look and respect and revel in her, and she's missing the mark, which feels contrived, which feels like I have I think what I was on the Star Report and they talked about this the other day. And I said on the Star Report that on paper, everything she said makes a lot of sense. But when I see you in a bathing suit that anyone else can buy, that has no uniqueness to it, then I say your artistry. Because when I think of an artist, I think of people like Prince, right? And I also think of people like, who's the one that played the piano with all the garb and the feathers guy?
Jerry Lee Lewis?
Not Jerry Lee Lewis. Yeah,
Elton John?
Elton John. Well, even Elton John. Yeah, he like Elton John. But before Elton John.
I know who, shit, I know who you're talking about.
And he had the big gaudy rings and the jewelry, and he was such an artist.
He used to play all crazy.
Oh, no, not that. Not him. But it doesn't really matter. I don't see this.
David Bowie?
It doesn't really matter. I just don't see the artist that's trying to present themselves. Like, let's look at this guy, CeeLo Green. CeeLo Green is a large man, and he wears the big glasses and the colorful shirts, and you know that he's overweight, you know he's morbidly obese, but it's art. He represents an artist when you see him. When I see her in this basic bathing suit looking like trash, I don't see art. I see a cheap bathing suit and somebody trying to yell and scream how we need to show some damn respect. I don't get it. Does that make sense?
No, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
I like the command versus demand.
Yeah. She's demanding that we show her some respect and stop hassling her. But like UlRic said, you got to go through 1,000. You go, girl, slay, home, slay, girl. You really doing it. I love that bathing suit. The bathing suit was basic. It was basic. Open this.
This thing with it's kind of sad, you know.
Yeah, it's a little depressing. It's a little depressing. Everybody knows that auntie ain't supposed to look like that and say those words.
And then we're trying to catch up to things that doesn't really jive towards the end. You know, one of the things is we talked about CeeLo and all these things, but one thing that CeeLo can't be is he can't be broke. See, as the guy, your thing is you're supposed to be able to provide. You're supposed to be able to provide and to protect. Okay? You're supposed to be able to provide and to protect. So that's the thing that you're supposed to really be trying to do. And to do that, you have to be able to provide some type of income. You have to be able to have some type of, resources that you're bringing in. Guys do that, and if you lose and you don't provide that, all of a sudden, your value would go down. Now, you would wish that you're seen for more than that because you look good or because this, but at the heart of it, if you can't provide and protect your family, that's kind of like, where the crux hits the road. Now, on our female side, one of the things is your vanity. It doesn't go away. You cannot try to, say, okay, well, I'm gonna try to do away with the vanity completely and look at me for something else. Although it's there, but that part is always going to be part of the feminine experience, your vanity. And you know what? You look at yourself all the time and you think about it. You want to present yourself in a certain way. And the idea with the body positivity is almost not trying to take account for that piece of it, And even at the end, no matter how much body positivity we go through, you will still desire, if in your mind, you have a certain view in your mind, you're still going to push towards that, regardless of how much body positivity is out there.
Body positivity. You don't see it. All right, so we have time to do another, we got a few minutes.
What we got?
Because the doc has to do a presentation, right?
Yeah.
He has to prepare for this presentation. And I was going to just spend a couple of minutes on this last one here. We'll be quick. I'm looking for it. I've seen it 3 times. That's why we need a producer. Who wants to be a producer on Premium Black News? Hit us up at BigElvisTheChef@gmail.com. That's BigElvisTheChef@gmail.com.
Why don't that guy who keeps insulting me, what's his name?
T. Riddler.
T. Riddler. Why don't you consider it? I love to work with you.
I love to work with you. Okay, I like that. I love to work with you.
I'm not even joking. He's not like him. He's a ball buster. I get these
He's a
guys.
good guy. T. Riddler's a man. We have great day ones here. Dude, why can't I find it? I'm gonna give myself 10 more seconds. If I don't find it, we're done for the night. Premium Black News over here needs a producer.
And this is a perfect example. Look, you saw it in the flesh, how much value you can actually bring to us by, besides the cash app, you can come and help us produce this better, and maybe if we have better production, we can bring it out to more people, and then,
You get what I was saying earlier about how we, as a guy, you almost want to be recognized for something that you not necessarily should be recognized for. Like nowadays,
You were always married.
you
during
want to
all
provide
this
and
stuff.
protect, but a guy would want to come through I would like to think that she doesn't want me because I can provide for and protect her.
wait.
I want her
Say
because
that
she
again?
thinks that I'm just this wonderful guy and I'm funny and I'm smart and I look good, so that's why she wants to be with me. And that may be true to a certain degree, but at the foundation of it, that's kind of like what you bring, and so it's kind of like the same thing on our women's side. It's like, well, she looks good and you may find like my woman is attractive, but at some part of it, well, I wish she likes me for something other than my beauty, but
I mean,
and
how
that's
was she real good? I mean, that's how you reel girls in. Yeah, how to keep women, I don't know. But if they usually like your charm.
That's honest.
Your charm, your looks, and your whatever. But that immediately now, eventually, hopefully, maybe you can get in.
That's after they've already sized up the fact that you're an educator and you probably make a certain amount, and it's like, okay, you can provide this amount.
Oh, I barely
And then
take
also-
women on dates.
Then all of a sudden, he got it, but he's not charming.
Okay, we're gonna go to our last video for tonight. All right.
You were always married during all this stuff.
I was always married, but that first go round, I definitely was not getting Wife of the Year awards.
Okay, good.
I had some focus issues.
Sure.
You know?
Listen. We had this weird moment. Chris and I were watching White Lotus. Did you watch White Lotus?
I'm still on the first season.
No spoilers.
The point is, we're watching it, and I have this moment, and I go, man, I have so much regret over what I put some women through, particularly infidelity-wise. It's just shameful. It's terrible. So I'm saying this out loud. I'm saying, it's so regrettable and shameful. And I'm sometimes glad I did it. Like, life's short, and it's one trip a year. It's complicated for me. I'm glad I took some of the opportunities that came my way. I don't know.
Well, in our first marriage, neither one of us felt like the marriage should get in the way of our dating. And so
That's
part of it
You
was
and I
like
are identical. I was
keeping up with his activities. And I was
Yeah.
like, oh, that's what you're doing? Oh, you're going to feel this one. And
Okay.
I just felt entitled to it as well. I was paying all the bills. I was working my ass off. And I felt like that's what comes, the spoils of riches. And like my dad before me, whoever has the most gets to do whatever the hell they want, is what I thought.
Yes.
And it was just dysfunctional from day one.
Yeah. I was in a 9-year-long open relationship.
Because you had like,
I had permission.
Yeah, but maybe not from the girls you were dating. They might have got screwed.
Well, no, I never ever let anyone. Hey, I'm in love with my girlfriend Bria. Live with her. We're gonna have babies. If you want to have a blast tonight, that's an option as well. It was always that way.
Beta.
Now, what I willfully denied is that despite them saying, yeah, that's great, that might not leave them heartbroken or damaged or something else.
I think when you're
There's two ways to look at it, right? Like, I'm honest, right? But that can also be your justification. So I can be honest with you. I meet you, Gab. Here's my situation. If you're down for that, cool. Yeah, I'm totally down for that. But I can see in your eyes, because I can, you're not really down for that. But I'm kind of skating under the cover fire if I'm honest. But my internal, my ethics know.
I'm hurting
She's
this
going along because that's all she can have. And it's probably not really that cool for me to do this. Now, there were others that just were horny and wanted to fucking see you peace out. That's great. But there were other people that certainly felt differently. And that bums me out. I have guilt over that.
I wish I had more guilt for some of that. I think it was such a stupid relationship that should have never gotten out of the dating phase.
Yeah.
We were gifted therapy, and the first session, the therapist was like, that's literally what she said. I don't know how you guys made it out of the dating phase. And we should probably look for a way to amicably
Dissolve.
Yeah, because you have not one thing in common. No morals, no values, no scruples. The one thing you guys both have in common is other people.
Right.
You know what I mean? So why don't you just go be with other people?
Oh my
You
God.
guys are identical in that you're super horny for other people.
Yeah, well, I was horny for validation.
Yes.
And having certain kinds of guys like me and want me. That made me feel like I was worthy and good and valuable and deserving.
So that's another thing I feel guilty about. So I do have guilt and remorse over the fact that I was hoping that the people I had deemed higher status than me, that if they liked me, I would feel higher status. That never worked. And if I'm painfully honest, I was using them. I was looking to them to regulate my own image of my...
What a beta. Whoa.
Wow.
Whoa. There's a lot to unpack.
Yes, I did.
There's a lot to unpack here, but the consensus is that this woman here, this actress, what's her name again? GabUnion. She's the one that's with Dwayne Wade at the moment, I believe.
Yeah.
And GabUnion, we have a woman here who was first married to a football player. And she's saying that when she found out that the football player was seeing a bunch of women, she felt like instead of me trying to keep up with him and what he's doing, I'm just going to do whatever I'm going to do. And that is sleep around. And she slept around on her husband, and she says that she doesn't feel guilty. She wished she felt more guilty, but she was paying all the bills. And when you pay all the bills, these are the spoils of when you have the kind of money and you're paying most of the bills. You get to dominate the relationship and sleep around and see other people. I would like to hear what you have to say about that, Doc.
I think I'm kind of like a little torn behind it, but you know, you cannot fault her. You know, if she put herself in that position and that's what she wanted to do, and she was with this person, that you could do those things because you could do those things. If you were a certain type of guy, you couldn't do those things and you wouldn't do them. So, you have to decide what kind of situation you're going to put yourself into. If you decide to get with a person who have a net worth of $50 million and you move in with them and they start to try to behave a certain type of way, you know, if your whole manhood is wrapped into just, you know, the financial things, then you're going to put yourself in a position where certain things can happen that you don't really care for, you know. So this is the idea about, you know, being equally yoked, you know, your masculine with an appropriate feminine, you know, and if those things meld and match, you won't have an issue. So now, in that situation, her understanding, if she was a woman for him, that they thought about things the same way, he would understand that, you know, I would need to make more money than her for things to balance out the way they ought to balance out. And if they don't balance out, that means we're not equally yoked and we probably shouldn't be together. You know? So in other words, if they thought about things the same way, the way she could say, well, I made more money, so I'm going to do what I want to do. If he's going to play a masculine role, I need to be making more money than this woman. So this is not a woman I could be with. Unless you was trying to play that role that you were playing, that she could do what she did and so on and so forth. But it comes back down to the guys. You know, you got to vet and pick and figure out this woman that you want to love. How do she think about certain things and whether or not they match along with what you're thinking? And if they do, then great. If they don't, then, you know, that's fine also. The problem is when you know that and you still go along. That's the problem.
So you're saying he was well aware of the red flags?
I mean, I'm sure he was. And maybe the money overshadowed everything. Well, you know what? She makes so much, well, I don't care. You know?
But men are not thinking like that.
Yeah, I was thinking that I don't like the fact that she was just cheating. I don't think she was intellectualizing cheating. Be like, well, I'm the breadwinner, therefore I'm a cheat.
She just said it.
She's lying. She's not cheating. She. There's no way you don't think. Who thinks about that when they're cheating? Who thinks about that where they're getting in the process?
That's an excuse. That's an excuse.
Exactly. So yeah. So that's what I think. That's it. Maybe she can. This was I'll even throw her a bone. I'll say that maybe she started to feel resentful or disliking him because what she really desired was some guy who I guess could provide more for her. It's possible she desired her, and that kind of led her to, I guess, maybe like look at some other guy differently that she saw that wasn't, and that just opened the door for her to cheat, and then she just kept going. But I don't. What she's saying is she got weak, and then she rationalized that she got weak after the fact by saying, "Well, I'm the breadwinner." But I don't think in any way, shape, she was like thinking this. When did she make the decision? Did they flip roles at a certain point? Was it, or was she like because it seems like she knows what the situation is. So I don't know at what point she changed or I don't know.
I would say that I would agree with you that she's a liar. I would also say that I don't believe a therapist told her that.
Oh, she said, I missed that part.
She said that a therapist told her that I can't believe that you guys made it past the dating phase. I don't believe a therapist told her that.
What kind of therapist talks like that? What kind of therapist would she go to?
I think she's a liar. I think she's very promiscuous. Or let's just say very, very popular. And she was so popular, and there was a type of man that there was a time in her life that she couldn't resist. And these men that she couldn't resist were the kind of people that knew if they caught her where she was going to be, they could slide.
Yeah, and also she's an actress. She's an image, and she has an agenda that goes along with her image, and she's like she's going through everything but acting. She's castrating her children. But we're not.
Whoa. Let's not even go there.
You know what? The thing about with her,
And that's actually not her child.
You know,
That she never gave birth to that child. That's happening with all the drama that's happening with that kid. This is like her stepkid. This ain't even real. You
You
know?
know what? The other thing about with her and what's happening, her start, she wasn't even really an actress to begin with. She wanted to be a video chick.
Really?
And she was, I think she's talked about that in the past. She wanted to be a video chick. She wanted to be a video vixen. She talked about how she had very low self-esteem. So she's one of those folks where didn't get that type of attention in the past, start to get some paper, start to look a certain type of way. Now it's like guys are starting liking you, and you want to like them, and you want to lay around. So, and it's an interesting past, but she painted that picture when she talked about her past, and the fact that her getting into acting was almost by accident, and she was trying to get into video roles, and trying to be a video vixen with the chick with her ass out and stuff like that. That's what she wanted to be. That's what she saw.
And so she was married to D Wade, and D Wade got some girl pregnant. So was he allowed to do that because he was in the NBA? And she
Making
allowed that to
more money than
happen.
him?
I don't.
Making more money than her?
Well, you know what?
Is
She
that
stayed
is that
married.
a lot? Yeah, that's my point. She stayed married to him.
But what he had to pay is too much.
Yeah, well, I guess we'll.
I have to tell you, it's hard for me to even talk about this woman.
Yeah.
It's very difficult for me to talk about this woman because I have such a disdain for this woman. Because we have to me, she's basic. I don't see anything that, when she was younger, she was basic. Nothing impressed me. Her acting never impressed me.
She's not that hot either.
She's never been hot like that. And then the guy she has, he's a little bit basic, I like it. He wears cool tight jeans, but
He was a great player.
Yeah, I'm not into the sport too much, so
He was a beast.
what do I know? But I think that we have a woman here who is helping without knowing men. She's teaching us men the mindset of the 304 who got a little bit of paper. So you see this girl, you like this girl, and if she's very popular, you walk away. You walk away from the popular girl who's been around the block. It ain't worth it. Don't be impressed by these women with the BMW and the condo and the little dog stepping out their car thinking they're cute. Don't be impressed by any of that, because what you have is massive amounts of dysfunction that's going to be attributed to that. So that's my 2 cents. We'll give you the last word, UlRic.
I don't want to say anything mean or negative that I haven't already said to Gabrielle Union. All I think is that she has what's happening there is she has an agenda, and she wants to. I think her goal is to make it look as if it's pretty. You give me the last word for the first time, and I got nothing good to say.
We'll give you the last word, Doc. And we want to say what's up to Natasha. What's that? Caitlin.
I know Natasha.
Natasha Caitlin. Why do people put themselves in the public eye and expect not to be criticized? Yeah, that was probably from a Lizzo thing. And then 20 minutes later, she says, she disgraced her husband and most importantly, her son. Facts.
That's true.
Okay, no men but maintenance men is crazy. No men but maintenance men is crazy. I don't know what that means. Ray, we weren't keeping up like that. Art, I like Carlton Way. Art, when she said that. I'm an artist. I shouldn't have to live up to anyone else's standards, but art. So if, here's the thing though with art is open to so much interpretation. What you bitching about, right? And a lot of strippers give extra services after the club closes. Oh yes, I'm sure. I read like Harry Potter. Let me see. Good convo, chef. That's Charles Richardson. Hey Charles Richardson, how are you? Thanks for that. Facts. He's splitting real hood. Clothing away. Chef with the fresh cut. That's me. All right. So we've been here for 2 hours now. Well, hour and 50 minutes. And normally we take breaks and we go back live, but the doc has a lot of work to do. He's a really, really busy man, and he put his time out there for us. UlRic and I were very, very, very happy that we were able to do another Tuesday. This is episode 40. Realistically, it could have been broken down to episode 41, 2, and 3, because we have 3 topics here. And we want you to check out the Premium Black News channel. Go to the Premium Black News channel, subscribe, and hit the Cash App, hit the Venmo, and we thank you so much for, being here. We talked about a young woman who manipulated men for fun, stripper. Then we talked about another woman who was proud of her body count, even though nobody went back for seconds. She was a one-off, in the dark, in a club. That's how you got it. And then we also talked about Lizzo, and then we talked about GabUnion. So that's 4 you got from us. So please hit the Cash App, please hit the Venmo. Anybody with any last words? I'm Big Elvis, the Chef Rosenberg.
I'm UlRic.
I'm Dr. Surgeon, the people's doctor.
And I love you. Never forget that part. Because it's true and it's real. Boom.